Hello, sisters. Hello, beautiful women, beautiful givers. Um, I'm so happy to be with you today. I am a little earlier than anticipated because I have an event beginning in 20 minutes at the top of the hour. So I wanted to get on a little bit early and wanted to just do this because we are entering the season of giving, which is one of my favorite seasons of the year. And I want to make sure that you have some key tips to make this the best giving season yet for you. We talked a lot about this in the Facebook challenge, these types of things in the Facebook challenge last week. But if you missed it, I want to make sure that I give you kind of a condensed version, a mini masterclass right now, just so that you can enter the season in the most effective way. And the way that is most it provides the most meaning and fulfillment for yourself as well. So let's hop right in. I've got a couple of questions from a masterclass I've done in the past, and so I'm going to address those. So the first one says, what is the difference between charity, philanthropy, and social impact? So this is a really important question. I love this one. When I think of charity, I think of it's a good thing. It's something that we do kind of just off the cuff. We give to organizations that sound good, feel good, and we do it without maybe a lot of thinking or certainly a lot of research. It's fine, but it's not the best way to give. I much prefer the idea of philanthropy. When I say philanthropy, I mean we're looking deep into the issue, we're determining what's the root cause of it and how we can address solutions so that ultimately the issue goes away. What we want for charity, for philanthropy to be is self limiting, right? I mean, we want it to go away eventually. And we don't see a lot of that happening. And that's because most people aren't taking an intentional and strategic approach to their giving. And that's what I want for you. The other term I just want to throw out there is social impact. So now we have the ability not just to give, but we can shop and we can invest for good. So we can use our dollars, the power of the purse, to make a difference in so many ways. And I want you to be aware of that and start thinking about that. The next couple of weeks in the Facebook group, the Business Women Giving Back Facebook group, I'm talking all about how you can shop well and shop with intention. In fact, yesterday I posted, I think it's called the Do Gooder challenge or the Do Gooder. You can sign the Do Gooder pledge. And so this is really, really another great way for you to make an impact. If you're going to be shopping anyway, why not shop with purpose? So that's first difference between charity, philanthropy, and social impact. Next question, why should women engage in philanthropy or social impact? Typically, women want to do it because they feel some sense of calling or purpose or mission around giving back, and particularly around giving to certain causes that are really important to them. It's also an opportunity to do something about an issue that breaks your heart. So rather than just stewing about it, worrying about it, actually taking steps to do something about it can help to eliminate those feelings of powerlessness, guilt, worry, anxiety, so that it's really, really helpful in that way. And also, I say just to make your authentic impact in the world, authentic, AWE, impact in the world. Okay, next, what are the three most important things women need to know about philanthropy? First, the inner work is the first step and possibly even more important than the outer work. We spent a lot of time talking about this in the Facebook challenge, doing that inner work so that you can address feelings that you might have of anger, of rage, of frustration, of concern and worry. Addressing those emotions, getting to the core of what's bringing that up for you so that you can kind of work with them so that they're not at the forefront of your giving when you're going out into the world. We want to use them as fuel to do something, but we're more effective if we show up from a place of love and compassion and peace than we are from a place of anger, frustration, and rage. Second, be intentional and strategic about your giving and adopt an investor mindset. What I mean by that is, as I'm saying here, think about your giving more strategically and more intentionally. Don't just do it off the cuff. And when we adopt an investor mindset, what that means is you are actually making an investment in this organization you're supporting. You're making an investment with the hope and intention that they will carry out a mission that's important to you and solve the social challenge that concerns you. So it's not just that you're just helping them along, it's an investment in their mission. That's a little shift in mindset that's very, very important in being effective. And then last, understand the overhead myth and impact measurement. Those are two key terms that I want you to be aware of. But the overhead myth is this idea that, and I hear this from women all the time, I want to make sure that my money is going toward programming and not to support overhead. And the really, really key thing to remember here is that for an organization to be effective in addressing the social challenge that you're concerned about, overhead is critical. They have to have staff and training and technology and all the things that go along with running a business, for example, that allows you to be effective in running a business. It's needed in the nonprofit world as well. So we don't want to become too focused on this overhead ratio versus how much of your dollars are going to programming. What we really want to focus on is impact. What is the impact they're having? Are they carrying out the mission that they say they're carrying out? That's what we want to be looking at, and there are ways to do that, which I teach and which I teach in my online course, and I'll continue to share with you over time. Okay, next question. How do you know which are the right things to get involved with personally and professionally? So this is great, especially if you're thinking about giving more than just money. If you're thinking of sharing time and talent, you want to look at your gifts and your talents and skills. What do you have to share and what do you want to share? For example, if you're a marketing guru or a finance person or a tech person, maybe you want to share that skill set in the philanthropy space or in the nonprofit space. And I can assure you that those skills are so needed as well. So think about what gifts, talents, and skills you want to share. Sense into where the energy is. So, what are you being drawn toward? Ask questions like, I wonder what might happen if we could address this issue. I wonder if we could make things better if we did this. So look at your own energy. What are you being drawn toward? What causes are calling you? Align with causes and issues that tug at your heartstrings. And absolutely, that goes along with that. Things that break your heart when you see pictures, when you hear stories, maybe things that have happened in your life that cause you to be drawn to those issues. Definitely focus on those. But always identify the most effective organizations addressing those causes and issues. So that's where we get into doing a little bit deeper due diligence than just, I've heard of this organization, I think they're good, I hear about, I've read about them. You really want to dive deeper and ask some deeper questions. All right, how can women get started? Big or small, time or money? So you can get started. One of the ways that I love to get started is through volunteering. And the reason I say this is because when you volunteer, you go into an organization, you essentially ask, how can I help? What this does is it gets you to see the inside workings of this organization. You are introduced to their employees, you are introduced to the management team, you might be introduced to their board of directors. You see the programming that they're offering. You might even interact with the beneficiaries of their services. And so you'll really get to see is it making the difference that you want to see being made? So volunteering is a great way to get involved easily without making a long-term commitment to begin with. Once you've determined that this is an organization that you really would like to become more involved in, that's when you might want to start giving of your talent. So this is where you'll take those skills that you have to offer and perhaps do some kind of project work. You might decide to serve on their board of directors and join a committee on that board that's linked to your skill set. So you can dive in deeper once you get to know the organization better. And then finally, sharing your treasure, sharing your donation, if you once you determine that this is an organization that you really feel good about supporting, you can decide at what level you'd like to share your financial resources. Okay, how can women incorporate philanthropy and social impact into their business, which I love talking about. But there are some key things to remember if you want to do that. Make sure that you're being strategic about aligning your business with an effective organization. So this due diligence into the organization, looking deeper, is even more important when you're aligning your business with it. Why? Because if something goes wrong, if something happens, if there's some bad news around this organization and it's just your personal giving, nobody really has to know. But if you're aligning your business with this organization and something happens, it's not going to look so good. So you want to make sure you're taking some extra steps to really do research into um, this organization to know. You can't always know perfectly, but you can certainly get a better sense if you do some research. So that's important. Include your team and your clients in the effort. I love this. Your team members, your clients, your suppliers, whatever it is in your business, they want to know about you and what you care about. They want to know what's important to you. They want to hear about issues that you care about. So when you bring them into this giving back, you get more loyalty, you get more engagement, and it kind of enriches the whole mission and culture of your business. So that's another great way and reason to align a mission with your business. And finally, your platform for your business allows you to promote the cause or the organization. So you have this platform out there. You have a voice now that you can use. You can talk about why this issue is important to you and why you think this organization is doing such a great job addressing that issue. You have the platform, use it. I always say if you could not give a dime or you didn't have time right now because you're just so involved with running a business or with your family responsibilities, if you used your business as a platform to share this message, you amplify that, and that alone has impact. So it's really, really powerful. Finally, what effect do you think being involved with philanthropy has on your ability to be prosperous? This is really, really cool. So there's a couple things that we know from research happen when you give. Number one, it's incredibly good for your health and your happiness. You get what they call a helper's high, which is like this hit of dopamine when you give. So you actually literally feel better. It increases, therefore, increasing your happiness, reduces stress, and boosts your immunity. So this act of giving, when we think, we're giving to someone, we're also receiving so much. When we're happier and healthier, we actually are more successful. It builds relationships, as I said, with your team, with your customers. They love you. There's brand loyalty that happens. That can only be good for the prosperity of your business. It results, therefore, in more financial success. And there's an interesting piece of research that says, particularly for women, we tend to have a financial ceiling. When we've kind of hit I've met my needs, I've got a little bit extra, I'm good. And so it can actually limit our financial success in our business. The hack that we know works is when you give back, when giving back is a reason behind your building your business, you can kind of blow that financial ceiling right off. So you actually invite more success into your business through giving back. Finally, and maybe most importantly, compassion and generosity lead to increased meaning and fulfillment, which makes for an abundant life. So it goes beyond just the financial return when you incorporate this into your business. It goes into a deeper relationship with your team members and your customers, and it results in meaning and fulfillment for you. And that is what an abundant life is all about. That's what I want for you, and that's what I want to see happen this giving season for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you'd like to learn more about incorporating giving into your business, I posted today in the Facebook group earlier my free ebook download called Give and Grow Your Business with Purpose. So you can grab a copy of that. It's like a 10-minute read. It's quick, but it'll give you some of these tips that we talked about and a place for you to just make notes for yourself. With that, I will leave you for this week, and I look forward to being with you again next week. Until then, be bold, be daring, be audacious. Much love.